Lewis is in Mansfield. Lewis, what would you like to say?
Hi, James. It's more about kind of why are so many Leave voters still not wanting to kind of see the reality, and it's really quite easily evidentially explained in terms of observable psychological phenomena that's been experimentally tested. So in particular, I'm thinking something like confirmation bias.
Sorry, I just punched my microphone, Lewis. Nothing personal. It was actually an accident. Carry on.
Okay, no worries. Yeah. So confirmation bias, where people look to justify their already believed beliefs.
Yes, and the internet, I suppose, is the absolute best friend of confirmation bias, isn't it? Something that's changed in the course of our lifetimes.
100%. You've then got what's called kind of like the backfire effect. Basically, it's just because when someone challenges you, ordinarily we tend to think if we challenge someone in a logical, rational sense, well, if I provide you with evidence, then you've got to alter your beliefs. Got to and alter, the universe doesn't run along.
I know you're right. I've got a slightly strange relationship with the backfire effect because in many ways it's made me famous, but at the same time it's broken my heart. So when I speak to people who are categorically wrong about everything and I prove it, and I know they go away even more persuaded that I'm wrong than they were before I proved them completely wrong, it goes viral, but a little bit of my soul shrivels.
Quite. And then lastly we've got the kind of big one, which is the Dunning-Kruger effect,
the Digby Jones effect, as I'm keen to rename it.
What's that? Sorry?
The Digby Jones effect.
Yes, yeah. So,
just remind my listeners what it is. Remind my listeners what it is.
Well, the Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah.
Effect. Okay, so it's basically the more you know, the less confident you're likely to be. So, if you don't know something about a subject, you've got very simplistic ideas of what it means. You tend to think you know a lot about that subject. The more you learn about a subject, the more you realize. So, for example, I studied philosophy at university. When I went to university, because I was going to university, I thought I was fantastic and I knew loads about philosophy. By the time I'd finished after 3 years of studying a degree, I realised I knew far less at the end of it.
I think I might be your brother from another mother. I did exactly the same course at university and had exactly the same experience. Was it Aristotle who said that the wise man is the man who realises how little he knows?
That was
one of the
Socrates.
Greeks. One of the Greeks.
Yeah, one of the Greeks. Yeah, but
I bet you got a better degree than me. Carry on.
I've got to say, I think as Remainers, I voted to leave. I've since changed my mind. I've done more research and read more, and I've realised I made a mistake.
Sure.
I now find myself in a position where I can't rectify that, which is strange in a parliamentary democracy that I don't have the chance to rectify that. That's odd. Yes. People keep talking about.
Well, you still might, and I never say never. But as things stand, you don't. There is no immediate opportunity to do the democratic thing.
As people that want to remain in the European Union, we have to shoulder some of the responsibility for Leave voters still hanging on to the beliefs we've got, because we've forced confirmation bias, we've forced backfire effects, we've forced these things on, and then also there's a lot of Remain people.
In good faith, we've done those things, and for some of these people, it won't be possible to help them. I could sit here until I was blue in the face saying, "Listen, no judgment, no recriminations, no blame. Give me a ring. You voted Leave. I'm not beating you up, but other people will be listening to this and saying, oh, it's outrageous. He's calling us all thick. He's calling us all racist." And I sit here saying, "You're not thick. You're not racist. You were just wrong." "Oh, he's calling us thick, he's calling you racist." I'm not calling you thick. I don't think you're racist. Some of my best friends and family members. Poor old Clive, who deals with the complaints here at LBC, has been getting some right old masterpieces lately, and he's been literally replying to people and saying two things. Have you thought about not listening? Or have you thought about listening? In which case you'd know that the things you say he says, he never says. But if you persist in thinking that he's calling you a thick racist every day, maybe it's time to stop listening. But there we are. Poor old Clive.
So what we need to do, what we've got to do then, is we've got to bring people together, because we're so tribally split.
But how, mate? And I'm going to tell you now, and I'm not joking or being Billy Big Bananas. I'm probably going to make a speech at the Big People's Vote at the end of the month. So I'm going to take notes now. What should I say?
I think it'd be quite simple. What is the underlying... Well, you need to get to the underlying problem.
But I want to give advice to hundreds of thousands of Remainers on how they should best deal with Leavers in their lives. What should I say?
To ask them why they feel the way that they feel. Not why they voted, but why they feel the way they feel.
Yeah.
What is it about their lives that they're unhappy with? What would make it better? Forget the EU for the time, but what would make it better? Would it be higher wages? Would it be better prosperity for your children? Would it be better education? Would it be better NHS? What would make your life better, and what have we got in common? Let's forget what this kind of.
But do you not at some point have to address the question we've begun with this morning, which is how did you end up thinking this outfit was your sworn and mortal enemy?
Yeah, but framing the question in that way is automatically going to lead to you're about to criticise me now. That even though you're not.
Well, frame it different. No, I know what you're saying is true, and I know that arguably I'm more in need of this sort of counsel than just about anybody else in the land. So give me a better way of framing that question.
I'm
putting you on the spot. I apologise.
Okay, so what singular piece of evidence was it that tipped you over the balance to say that you should vote in that way? Tell me that one singular thing where you thought, do you know what, that's the right.
And then if they can't come up with one, and everybody else starts laughing, and the clip goes viral, then what do you do?
I don't know. You give them options.
That's the point. That's what I'm saying. It's all very well you here, Lewis, Johnny come lately, telling me I should be asking my questions in a more polite and mannered way. But I do. I ask the question, and when they can't answer it, that's it. You appear to be condescending. You appear to be sneering. You appear to be aloof. It's your fault that the person you've asked the question to can't answer it. That's how their minds work.
You can give them the answers in the question, couldn't you? You could say, is it, what is it? What was the one thing that chose you to vote this way? Was it that there's a supranational
yeah, but mate, I don't know how long you've been listening to the programme. I've been doing this for 3 years, so I say what was the thing that you said, and they say something, and I explain why that's not true, whether I'm saying, no, look, here's the white paper, British Parliament was always sovereign, although it sometimes did not seem that way. They say, well, it's all the laws, James. I say, what laws? And they splutter and faint and then end up talking about bananas, and we all laugh and we part as friends, but they haven't changed their mind. And then they say blue passports, and I say, well, we're allowed a blue passport in any way, and is it really worth having a passport that's a different colour if it actually allows you free access to fewer countries than the purple one did? And it goes on and on and on. You're basically describing my life and telling me I've got everything wrong.
I'm sorry about that.
It's all right. I'll take my medicine, Lewis, and you've made me late for the break.